Yeah. Show your stuff. Today on the agenda we have stuff being shown. We have new people being shown, and we have other stuff. Some of that other stuff is people recruiting people, such as Sebastian. He's building a new clan. Maybe that's for you. Woo!
There you go. Alright, I'm just gonna go right through it. There we go. Alright. Hi, I'm making a game, but I don't want to do it alone. So I want you to join the team. First off, let me show you the vibe. Alright, my main focus has been to make sure that content creation is efficient. This includes custom-made geometry node tools to automate otherwise time-consuming steps. On top of that, the shader setup is performant and flexible. Let's move on to the vision I have for the game design. I intend for this game to be like a mashup of Lemmings and Plate Up. So instead of cooking, you play as frogs or guiding tadpoles into a frog house. You do so by placing signs and building buildings to help them reach their destination. If this sounds like a project you want to be part of, reach out to me on Discord. Send me your portfolio and tell me what you can do. All right. Yeah, I've been working on this one for a while. This is the first time I made a proper video, like in a video software. So yeah, it was fun. Yeah, any questions? Over there.
What kind of like people or skill sets are you looking for?
So I'm mainly a gameplay programmer type, but like if you think that you can contribute to anything, and you have a really cool idea of how you would do that, and why I should have you on the team, I'm very open-minded when building it. So yeah, reach out regardless, but yeah, mainly a programmer. Over there.
How long have you been developing it, and what you have what you have done?
Okay, so I've made everything that you saw. All of those are assets by now, and well, I've been working on it since the beginning of this year, while also doing some other stuff. So yeah, yeah, that's yeah.
Can you describe your ideal workflow?
Ideal workflow. How do you mean? Like
For example, you send the stuff to the person, you send
Oh.
a mood board, etc.
Oh, so what would be ideal for me is if I could mainly stay on the content creation side of things. I prefer dealing with that side rather than anything on the game engine. I can do shaders and stuff in there, and I can make sure things, work. But if I have people who do basically everything else, that would be super nice. Then I can focus on making characters and hats and whatnot, and yeah, whatever is needed. and then I have a gameplay designer who goes, yeah, cool vision you have. Let's destroy everything. This is better. And I go, fuck yeah, it is. If it is, like, I don't. Yeah, I want to have a good game, and whatever people can bring that in the position that, like, if they're more suited in a position than I am, I want them to have the responsibility higher than me because they know better and stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of.
Do you have an idea of a first deadline or timescale so that people know like how much they'd be getting on board for? Like, you trying to push for a demo or something?
Yeah, so I would love to have some type of demo out this year at least, but if that's like, that might not be the best time scale. I don't know enough about programming to know how much time this game would actually take to make. I know on the art side that, yeah, it's, I mean, you've seen what's in there, that I can create a lot more than that and have that be polished by the end of this year. So that very much depends on the skill of the programmers. So yeah, I'm open to the best options presented to me. So if you feel like, maybe I don't have enough time, or maybe I do, maybe just say what you can do, what time you have, and what time frame you're willing to work with, and I can try to pick a team that works with like that time frame together with all the people who want to join. I'm thinking. Premi.
Are you thinking revenue share, or do you have a budget for the game?
Good question. I am in the beginning thinking rev share, but it also will depend on how much hours people are going to give, and yeah, I will make sure that it's, you know, so that everyone on board is happy with the situation as a team is my main focus, so the game actually happens. Yeah, I don't have a budget, like I don't have the money, but if people on the team thinks that, yeah, we can try to get a publishing deal if we just do this and that, and I'm like, yeah, okay, let's do that. People would feel best doing that, or if like that would help make the game happen. Otherwise, rev share, I think this game is gonna make it, so why have expensive, like why would I give the money in the future away for no good reason? Yeah, by signing a publisher.
What's it made in?
Oh, currently I'm just using Blender for the presentation. The setups for the shaders are very, very easy to make in Godot or Unity or Unreal. I've made similar shaders in both of those. All three of them. There we go. Yeah, so it's that part is also open. Like if you're working with Unity or Godot or Unreal, whatever you like the most, let me know what you're most open to working with. Preferably Godot because of a lot of reasons. All right.
All right.
That's it. Thank you.
And for those of you who felt like we had too many Daniels, I want to introduce a new concept. What if we have too many Martins? Martin! Woo!
Let's see, how does this work?
You go up to the top with message requests and you're probably
That's probably me.
Yeah.
Accept. Okay, so I was told that as a new person I'm supposed to make a slide deck, and I was hoping to never make slide decks again. But here goes. Who's Martin? So this is a whirlwind tour of me. I moved down here from Stockholm two days ago. Quit my job 2 weeks ago. I am a programmer, first and foremost. I got hooked on the Warcraft 3 World Editor when I was a kid, and that was kind of my first taste of game development. Didn't take me long to go from that to programming all kinds of languages throughout my teens. So I spent a lot of time back then doing game programming. Then after that I did a math degree for some reason, and then I spent a decade-ish working as a programmer outside of the game industry. So I've been programming for a very long time, but not necessarily in games. And then at some point I just kind of got fed up and wanted to stick it to the man and do my own thing. So that's what I'm doing now. So my plan is to be here for a year and just kind of hack away in reckless abandon on my game. And the game itself has not been... I don't really have any socials, haven't been advertising it, so it's very early stage. But essentially, I love co-op games, so I'm making a co-op game. It's going to be some sort of vaguely roguelite type game where you play short focus runs with your friends in procedurally generated caves. So this is kind of a rough screenshot that I took just now. As you can see, I've been spending way too much time writing my own global illumination algorithm instead of making the game. But the main inspiration is kind of like, I really love the co-op feel of Spelkollektivet, so I'm thinking kind of a 2D simpler version of that, or real-time worms in a dark cave. So that's kind of the general vibe. Creepy dark cave ambience. And finally, I'm doing it the hard way in Rust and Bevy, because I am an absolute nerd and I like doing it that way. So if anyone else is a Rust fan here, definitely hit me up. Love to talk shop. And other fun factoids, I'm a long-time musician. I play mainly the piano, but also other instruments. So definitely down to jam, if there's any of that going on. I'm a halfway decent chess player, also down to play chess. I lived in Beijing at one point in my teens and can speak Mandarin if I had a beer or two. Played squash for a few years. I don't think there's a squash court here, but I'll find some other way to keep myself in shape. I am probably the tallest person at Spelkollektivet, I think. I haven't seen anyone. I'm usually the tallest person at 198 centimeters. And finally, Scavenger's Reign was a pretty good TV show. Exactly. And that was it. That's all I got. Questions? Concerns?
Well, it's a question, not a concern. What's your favorite Warcraft 3 custom map?
Oh, man, it's been like so long since I played it. I used to play a lot of Vampirism. That was a lot of fun. God, I don't even remember. I was actually mostly making maps, not playing them so much. Yes?
What's the weather like up there?
It's windy.
Hey, I'm sorry.
I asked for it, you know. Yes, in the back, Tintin.
Say something offensive in Mandarin.
Oh, I'm not going to do that. But I can.
It can be offensive to ants.
I can do it after the stream. Yes, I don't know your name.
Hi. Favorite game from the recent 3 months, and then favorite game of all time.
3 months?
3 months? Like released in the past 3 months?
Or that you played?
No, played.
Played. I mean, chess. Best game of all time, sorry. But apart from that, Dome Keeper. Was playing that quite a bit. Really like that. Yes, go.
What genres of music do you mainly play when you choose to play stuff?
I play some sort of jazz pop hybrid thing. Very into like improvising.
Just letting you know, you should probably talk to Joelle, our chef. He both does jazz and they have a house band. You can participate if you want to. And he also arranges chess tournaments.
Oh, nice. Perfect. My
You're
soulmate.
not allowed to get crypto or additional information, Jeff? I'm joking.
Alright, thank
That's
you.
it. That's it.
Alright. Now for second tallest person. Johanna!
I'm gonna start with making sure I'm in the frame. So I'm the second tallest person at Spelkollektivet. It's big. Okay. I'm Johanna, and I'm working on Frog-like. We are, and this is the almost weekly update of how many more reviews we need to reach 100. We are 3 away now, so it's very close. So once again, please review our game if you like it. But yeah, so I'm working on Frog-like, and it's 2 weeks since I updated, since I presented, so we have made 2 updates, because we update every week. And first we did an update where we added difficulties. It looks like this. After you unlock the first one, you get these one checkbox, and yeah, then you can. Well, for hard it's plus 50% on all of those, and when you beat the game on hard mode, you can try harder. And yeah, and after the week after, so yesterday, we pushed an update where we made improvements to the pause screen and the settings, or I added 2 new settings. So first this is how the pause screen used to look. And especially I've updated how we show the level of your items. Previously, like you could level an item up past the 10 or 5 initial levels if you find it on the map, but I had no way of displaying that. So I added, now it turns into a number if it goes over level 5 for these down here, and if it goes over level 10 for the tanks. And I also added some confetti. It's very messy, but at least it's a celebration. You reach the maximum level or beyond of that item. And I also added this tab up here, which is means that you can now read the chapter that you are playing. I also updated this to a list, so instead of showing just the chapter you are playing right now, you get a list of all the chapters you have played so far. And then if you click this tab, you can now read the text of the chapter if you want a reminder, and you can also see again the things to find and what collectibles and power-ups you can find on this chapter. So it's just a nice reminder so you know what's even possible in this chapter. And then I added 2 new settings. So now you can choose to hide all the damage numbers. You can also choose to see the disclaimer that the game starts with again. So for that I need to show that I need to play the game. Yes. So one of the settings is if you have clicked this box to not see this disclaimer again, where we also talk about the roadmap of the game and show what we are working on in the future, and there's also the link to the Discord. So, but you can have click this button to not see it again, and previously it was not ever possible to see it again. But now it is, because now you can go into settings and choose to see it again. And yes, you can also then, if you play the game, there is usually the damage numbers that come up whenever you eat something or hit something, and oops, no, I also changed the layout of the button, so now I click the wrong one all the time. That's not nice, but I hope people will get used to it. And so now I removed the damage numbers, so now it's gonna be less things in the way and less things to see. In case you are not, in case you don't care that much about what numbers you're doing. And questions? this. Nope. Okay. Yes.
Will there be cake when we reach 100?
Well, I don't know. I've heard. I think Remy said that you said that there might be pizza, but I might be wrong. I wasn't here when anything was said, so.
That wasn't a lie.
Okay. So James lied. There will not be pizza when we reach 100 reviews. That's my takeaway from this. Marika?
Will we make frog pancakes in his frog pan if you reach 100?
I don't know if Remy will make frog pancakes in his frog pan.
I can, but I won't make 100.
He can make pancakes, but not 100. Yeah, Harry?
Can there or will there be an Eldritch Frog God?
It can, but I'm not sure it will. Yeah.
That's good enough.
Any more questions? No? Okay, thank you.
For the next frog like Josh.
Next frog.
It's not a good joke, but it popped into my head. Jesus.
Apparently I'm a
don't
frog
censor
now.
yourself.
Yes. Oh, I'm still logged in. Yes. Hi, I'm Josh. I'm making a turn-based tactics game with dice, and I'm going to talk about none of that. Last week I talked a little bit about our customization in the game, and I didn't really get done. And emboldened by the fact that people like this talk, I would finish it. So, quick recap. We have a game where you make 2D characters, and we have a customization system where we mix and match assets and add colors through a cool technique that is way better. Totally. Not going to talk about that right now. Instead, I want to talk about emotions and expressions, because one of the big things we wanted in the game is to make them feel alive. So this is the characters as they animate, and I'm going to kind of detail how the heck we did that. This came from, again, Nina, our amazing artist, who isn't here today, who drew me this thing about how artists draw faces. And what we found out is that with a very small select of eyes, eyebrows, and mouths, you can make a lot of emotions. Apparently this is how the human face works. So she drew this thing, and you can see down here the blue ones are the accepted emotions, like annoyed. Slightly annoyed is not a real emotion, and whatever this face is not a real emotion, but there's some real ones here that we decided to keep. And the way we did that is for each of our assets of these categories, so for instance the mouths, there is a corresponding happy mouth, and a sad mouth, and a shock mouth. And the same with the eyes, there's a happy eye, shock eye, and so on. And by like having a little code where you combine those together, you can create different emotions. I counted, there's 37 emotions that people can make, that's fact. This is how people apparently work, and it looks like this. You can kind of see that, like, to be normal, you need to have a normal mouth, normal eyebrows, and normal eyes, where if you are frowning, apparently your eyes are angry, but the rest is normal. And that's totally how it works in real life too. And yes, this switch statement is very long and very funny. That was very fun to write, and it's very fun to debug. And what can we do with this is we can inject personality into the characters. So the way we do it is we kind of have like a game event, and then each character will have a personality, which is a collection of personality traits, and it will ask itself like, hey, given this game event with your personality, how would you react? And the character reacts with some kind of emotion or expression. And we use that to create like some pretty cool life in the characters. Like for instance, a scared character might be very nervous when you pick them and want to put them in a mission. Or let's see if I can do this. A pause screen will be very paused. Arrogant character might be very arrogant whenever they do a critical attack, and that kind of stuff. So it's a really flexible system that we enjoy a lot. And of course players have kind of like full choice over this. So as they select the character, they can like mix and match like 2 personality traits as to what we've done it for now. And then the character kind of gets a response based on that. And there's a whole personality that comes with it. This is something that has worked really well for us, specifically because usually you can't really animate faces for 2D characters in games. Like traditionally we do it with 3D, we do it with mesh deformations, and that's hard in 2D, and like the alternative is writing a new face for every single thing, but since we're mixing and matching assets, this was what we kind of came up with. Yeah, that's pretty much it I had to talk about. The only other thing we combine it with is a very simple transform animation. So you can see as the character changes emotions, what we do is we just stretch the asset and stretch some of the small assets. And then at a certain point in the animation, we swap the emotion. And that gives that kind of sense of life, even though they're just 2D sprites. That's essentially it. Any questions? And while I answer questions, I just want to show, without sound. This is how the full system looks like. Collecting the two together. This is a customizer menu where you can randomize a character, mix and match assets, and make a character of your own. Oh, I can do a full screen. Any questions? Yes.
Could you talk a little bit more about how you relate personalities to, like how you link them and like how you decide?
How I link them, so the way I do it is we have different game events that we feel like the character should have a response to, like dealing damage, taking damage, being selected on a mission, friend dying, and we can just add more of those, right? And what we do is we ask the character, what is your response to that? And behind the scenes, it's basically, there's a default reaction, what we'll call the normal reaction for each character. Like, for instance, when I get hurt, I'll make a face, right? And then each of these traits, they have options to override certain responses. So, for instance, if you are a masochist, is it the masochist one that likes getting hurt, or is it the other one? Yeah. If you're a masochist, they might say, I really want to do a happy face when I get hurt, right? And then there's a priority system. So, like, masochists have a really strong response to getting hurt, so they might override more than, say, a scared character who would write scared because that's somehow weaker, and that's like something we decide, right? And that's essentially how we do it. We combine them together, and then like emotions like emerge, and then we add like these dialogue box, right, where the masochist might say something funny when he then gets hurt and that kind of stuff. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, awesome, thank you.
Yes.
What's the weirdest combination of personality traits according to you?
To be honest, we haven't made that many, and all of them are pretty weird. I think Zen is a weirdest emotion because it makes the character just do one emotion all the time. And then if you do that with like Zen, like masochist or Zen creep, it's just this guy who's very Zen, and then like sometimes they'll make a really ugly face. And that I find, like honestly, that's almost more disturbing. Like no emotion except for when I get hurt. It's pretty fucked up. Yes. Nikos.
What are your personality traits, Josh?
According to this list?
Yeah.
According to this list, optimist and pessimist? I have no idea. Yes.
Is there, because you have two columns of traits that you can blend together when you pick, does it, if you were to pick bored and on the left, masochist on the right, or masochist on the left, bored on the right, would they be the same or would they be different?
They would be the same. Like we don't have a like strength or anything for this right now. We could add that if you wanted. There's also like a little bit of like a secret kind of thing where some of these are like not compilable. Like my example before, optimist and pessimist. Like if you have one, you can't be the other because like what even is that? Like kind of thing. And this is only a menu you see for your character when you make your main character. All your other characters, they will just be generated. So we will pick two, and then hopefully you get an attachment to them because they're like, oh, he's this quirky guy who does something. Yes?
Do you have any systems that can handle like translation or localization, or any plans for it in the future?
Yeah, we have, most is localized. We made a full system to localize everything. Well, I say we, Nikos did. And then I like keep adding UI, and we were like, maybe we're not going to localize, so I didn't localize all of it. But like the emotions themselves are not really localized, right? They're just separate, but all the text we can localize.
The localization is just Unity's default localization system.
Yeah.
Say again? The localization, we're just using the Unity localization that they provide.
it's neat enough.
All right, thank you.
That looks to be it from the public ones. You didn't have a presentation, Trey?
I didn't prepare a PowerPoint or anything.
Do you want to do one? Just.
Okay, sure.
Okay. All right, Jonathan.
Can you close my tab? Can you close my tab?
Sure.
All right. I'm Jonathan. I'm from the States, New Jersey, actually. And the most important thing about me is pretty much that I make horror games about New Jersey. Because everyone's been laughing at New Jersey for a long time. I want to show people they should be afraid of it too. Yeah, I'm here working on the third horror game in a series about New Jersey. And this one's going to be about looking for your lost dog in a forest called the Pine Barrens, which is like the scariest place in my state where I come from. Yeah, I'm hoping to have that completed by the time I leave here, or at least a prototype prepared. But it's going to be a short 15-minute game. Also, the dog is based on my own dog back home. Should have prepared something, PowerPoint to show pictures, but maybe later. I guess favorite games. I was just about to say that. Probably Darkest Dungeon, which I have 1,800 hours in, and Outlast. And I guess that's me.
Question from James.
Yeah.
You said you had, if this was your third game, do you have your other two other links you could show us, or Extenders or Itch?
Is this, can I just look up?
Yeah.
Sure.
It has real internet.
Yeah, nice.
Are you
It's
a
called Playback Trauma. Small games, but this is the whole series right now. 2 games.
Are you a one-man army?
Yeah, and I hire people, contractors, when I can't do programming myself. Art, audio, everything like that. Translations. James.
Do you feature cameos from Snooki or people like that?
Maybe one day. Not yet.
Favorite movies and hobbies that you have?
Favorite movie? Favorite horror movie, at least, is Would You Rather. Really interesting movie about people just sitting in a room and a rich guy tells them to do weird stuff.
Classic.
Yeah. Favorite hobby, too. Chess. Chess. Comedy, freestyle, rapping, listening to disco. Market research, actually. It's a weird one. Yeah, Tintin.
What breed is your dog?
A mutt from Honduras. A mix of German Shepherd, Boxer, Rottweiler, and we're not sure what else. Yeah.
How did you hear about this place?
I can't remember, but probably Twitter, like a few years ago. Yeah.
How long are you gonna be here?
2 months, about 2 months. But I would stay longer if, my passport thing would, yeah, if I could.
How long would you have to be here before you make a horror game about Veckensan?
There are towns where I'm from that look exactly like this, so I would use this as inspiration, definitely.
Maybe a Stranger Things portal kind of thing.
Good idea. Okay.
Alright, thank you. I can show you Spelkollektivet's darkest dungeons.
No hunting grounds.
Only for dating. For murder, it's okay. I think I'm the only one here who has seen the third kitchen in the house. All right. No, I just say that. All right. Thank you for coming. Say hello to your mom. Bye.